The zero product property is what we have to rely on to solve a quadratic equation. And a quadratic equation is one in which the highest power is 2, right? Quad refers to squares, so we're always going to square something. And the zero product property states that if the product of two things is 0, then one of the factors is 0. One of the factors must be 0. And we're going to use that. So over here, for number 1, we have a quadratic equation. We have the 0, but we need to write the left-hand side as a product, which means we need to find the factors. And I know that's going to be 2x and x, and you're probably getting good at this. 3 and 1. And if we're multiplying these two things together and getting 0, then either 2x plus 1 is 0 or x plus 3 is 0, which on this side gives us x equals -1/2 and x is -3. So we're going to have two possible solutions. I could do the same thing for number 2. If I factored the 2 out of both terms, I'm multiplying two things together and getting a 0. It's not going to be a 2 because a 2 is a 2, but it is possible that this x minus 5 thing would be 0, and that would happen if x is 5. So I could use it there as well. Same thing for number 3. I'm going to factor the left-hand side. It's still equal to 0. I know it has to be 5x and x. Both signs have got to be negative because of the positive and the negative there. And 2 and 1 is going to work in that order because that's 10 and 1. So x is going to be +1/5, or x is going to be +2. And you're going to get to the point where you can do that in your head. For number 4, I have to factor by factoring out the greatest common term. And so I'm multiplying these two things together and getting 0. So either the first thing is 0 or the x minus 5 thing is 0, which would mean x is 5. So again, two possible solutions for a quadratic. So we're just going to always be factoring one side and setting it equal to 0. So I know we have 3x and x. Let's see, 8. I'm going to try 4 and 2. 4 and 2, because that's going to give me 6. I want -6 plus 4. And then either 3x plus 4 is 0 or x minus 2 is 0. And solve each little equation. Right, so that gives us 3x equals -4, x equals -4/3, and in this case, x is 2. So again, two possible solutions. For number 6, let's factor a 3x out of each term. And I'm multiplying this 3x thing by the x minus 2. So one of those two things has got to be 0. Solve for x here by dividing both sides by 3. Right, so that's going to give us x is 0 or x is +2.